Somebody also asked me about do do the dysfunctional um uh I want to be I want to not say the word, so I'm gonna have to bleep myself because last time I got somebody got me a strike or something or took the video down or something like that because I kept saying it in the video. So the N word, N wordville. A lot of black men think that their vocabulary and their rules are the standard bearing for everybody else. This is why black women are traveling to North Korea, well, South Korea, to give men who look like females more ass than they do these guys. And the funny thing about this is white guys can beat the shit out of a white of black women and they won't say nothing. They can be broke, they can be losers, and they can just have nothing else. Black dudes are the ones who keeping up this bad culture. I thought it was the women, but now I'm starting to see it's the men. Because when I look at these passport bros, these anti-passport bro movements, and then I look at the guys that are passport bros, but they're passport players. See, it's a difference between passport bros and passport players, right? The passport player still thinks that they can walk around and everybody should go adhere to their rules. This is why they say certain things. So I want you to expose certain guys who have this mentality that they certain rules that they think every black man should be under. This is why they won't call cartel guys tricks, even though cartel dudes pay women in sex. Cartel dudes are known to buy women cars, houses. Mind you, there's there's stories out there that dudes, cartel dudes, be giving women's gifts before they get any ass. There's cartel dudes, there's Arab dudes that are known to give women hundreds and hundreds and even millions of dollars to have sex with them. But you understand what that means, right? That these guys can't talk down to more people that are more violent and more powerful than them. So they try to use their bullshit rules that, mind you, haven't worked for 60 years on none of these women to standard for black men. This is why there never can be a all black shit or all black mindset. Because these guys make up these stupid ass rules to try to make everybody hear to them. This is why you hear the same shit from these guys. So I want to break it down. In N-wordville, the N-word universe, and the N-word bylaws, right? They always do things harder than they have to. So pretty much, these are the people who go to jail, come out and say, I'm a better man for it. These are the people who go through a whole bunch of situations just to say, hey, I went through that situation. I went through these women and this and this and that. They're the only group of men who think it's an accomplishment to fight with a girl and then have the girl moan and groan, right? Or to keep going back. They're the only ones who think that this is a good. This is a, this black dudes are the only ones who think that you supposed to go through some hardships in order to be a man, or hardships to be somehow be talked about, right? These are the people who do all this crazy shit. They want every single black man to go through something incredibly fucked up in order to come out acting like they learned something. Instead of just like white dudes teach. There's white men out here that teach their kids not to mess with certain people, Latinos, Asian. They set up a whole system for their kids, especially their boys, to be able to get women a lot faster without dealing with the shit that they had to deal with their wife and with the mother of the mother, right? Black dudes don't want shit to change, and they've been perpetuating this shit for 10 fucking, no, not 10 years, for almost 50 years to do some hard shit just to say you did it and you got out of it. They want you to go into the same dysfunction that held them down. Mind you, these are guys who are overweight, fat. There's no women out here that claims them, but they so-called no women, right? Two, thinking game is used by every man in every country. Mind you, I checked a lot of these guys who go overseas who say game is this and game is that and it's women everywhere and women are the same. And I said, do your advice work for a Japanese man? And they all said no. There's guys who told me that the women are the same. And I asked some guys, I say, okay, do you give dating advice to Japanese men? Because remember, all women are the same. So that means you can go overseas and know exactly how these women act, and you can give those guys advice. A guy who don't know women overseas, and they're incomplete. That's how you destroy these fucking people's point about how women are the same everywhere. If they can give advice to a Japanese guy, a Korean guy, a Chinese guy, they don't even understand the fucking laws. So don't believe them when they talk about how, oh, women are the same everywhere. If they're the same everywhere, that means that your advice works just like your advice here works over there. Mind you, remember, if you're a loser over here, you're a loser over there. So that means if somebody is a god over there, is they a god in America, right? It works both ways. If you're popular in America, that means you should be popular overseas, right? That's how it should work. But you're nobody overseas. You might be the king of your block, but you can't go to another country and be the king of their block. They got dudes that are willing to put you in the ground faster than anything else. Downplaying any man who does anything different from them. So basically, they don't like when people divert and do anything different. That's why they call people's girlfriends and wives whores. This is the reason why they will call a whole country of women whores and working girls. There's a reason why these guys don't like when you don't deal with their women or deal with the women here. Mainly because they don't like when you divert and do something different. They hate you when you don't do what they say. When you don't when you don't go into their plans. Because they need you to be distracted by bullshit in order to feel good about themselves. Even if they traveling, they got to feel like you have a certain mindset that holds you down just like it holds them down. Because like I said, they'll never approach a local. They'll never approach none of these other people overseas who got women problems and call them incels. They'll never do that because they know they get their head knocked off. Same thing with Austin Holloman. Austin Holloman went over there, acted a fucking fool, and pretty much got a whole collage of people getting him out of the country. They ran him out of the country. They didn't kick him out. They ran him out of the country. That his way of doing things did not work at all. So, have to brag about unimportant things. A lot of black dudes brag about having game, brag about sneakers, brag about certain stupid shit that is unimportant in any other society. There's other races of men who have less sex than black men and they get more respect from their women. A lot of guys overseas don't have to do the same unshameful shit to their women that black dudes have to do. Right? Saying that you're super correct, charismatic, but end up getting robbed. These are the guys who go to Colombia thinking they don't have to pay because they're charismatic. Or they don't have to pay because they packing down there. And then end up fighting with a woman on camera, which is embarrassing. Always have to hype themselves. These are the people who always say they're the best. They're the best. I'm better than you guys, right? They always have to overhype themselves to pretend that they're the only ones in the room who better than. Always have to roast someone to feel good about themselves. So these guys will always find a way to roast someone, right? They could only do this with black men. I said this 4 years ago, that they wait till they get around enough black people in order to roast somebody. Because if they are in a room full of white people, Latinos, Asians, they won't be going around roasting nobody. First of all, the language and culture barrier, meaning that that roasting shit will turn on them, and they will end up getting disowned and kicked out of a restaurant because of their actions. It's normalized in black society that you can roast somebody and they don't do nothing to you, right? Thinking that women they pick are the best options to men, they think less than, right? So I didn't finish that. So basically, the women they pick should be loved like by the guys that they look under, because well, you can't get a woman, so you might well get the woman I like. The women that they think that their choices in women is the only choice in women. And if you like somebody else, they call her a 5 or 6 or 7. And then you ask them, okay, look, where the girls at? Show me based off social media. You got Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Show me the type of women you think is fine. Let's do it. Let's trade who looks better. My women that I pick are the women you like. And if I can't say your women look good, none of them look good, then you can't speak on the women I like. Having one wave perspective of looks of women. A lot of these guys think that a big ass and big boobs mean a girl is fine. And they've been thinking that way for decades. They don't know what a nice face look like. They don't know what certain other qualities of face look like. I might make that video and show you the look qualities that I like in a female. And it's more than a boobs and ass thing, right? Use the same vocabulary. So this is important for everybody who know where these people origins come from. If these people use the same vocabulary, they part of the same camp. And then you should just not say nothing to them, or you should counter them with certain points to shut them the fuck up. Because a lot of guys try to tell me about trick. And I said, Pablo Escobar was paying women, right? But y'all niggas are, Scarface was a quote unquote trick, right? He was paying it. Even in the casino, that dude was a trick. But you niggas are watching these movies like every day. Going to the strip clubs, you a trick, right? Because none of y'all will spend billions of dollars going to the strip club. But y'all some tricks. Y'all tricks because y'all have child support shit, right? Y'all tricking more than anybody else. So let's see the vocabulary that the black dysfunctional men always use, or so-called, let me say, the N-word universe. So, incel is a big use for them to use. Socially awkward, tricking, or trick, loser, pay to play, game, come back to the U.S. if you can't do you. Come back to the U.S. if you do that. It's women here. You don't get women. Women will never like you. Fat, confidence. You are lame here. You are lame over there. Women are the same everywhere. And there's more vocabulary things that these people say that you can know and identify that they all think the same thing and have the hive mind. Game, swag. It's a lot of different ones that I can think of. They have a high school mentality, right? The high school mentality is thinking that high school is a denominator of real life. Mind you, most of the guys who sit in power don't have six-pack abs, they're not tall, and they don't have big penises. They don't have game, they don't have swag, and they own these niggas. I mean, my bad. They own these N-words, right? They own these guys. They make the rules, and these guys don't make shit, right? There's a reason why there isn't Bill Gates. There's a reason why they can't walk up to Bill Gates and ask him for $1 million or ask him for $1 billion. There's a reason why they can't go up to billionaires and say, run your pockets. These people have a high school mentality. It means that they can pick on the people. They always seem to pick on weaker people that everybody else is picking on. And that's about it. They think they still a popular guy in high school. A lot of these guys are still stuck at high school. Right? This is why they say you don't get women back in the day. My bad. Oh, my bad. Let me give you an update on the vocabulary. My bad. You never got women back in high school. It's more stuff. That was just off top. So they stuck at high school mentality because that was the best time for them in high school. When they became an adult, they know who they can talk like this to and they know who they can't talk like this to. They can't talk down to a cartel guy who paying for sex. They can't talk down to a gang member overseas that pays for sex. They can't talk to that guy with the oil money that pays for sex. They can't talk about the guy on the yacht that's saying he's an old trick. They can't talk about a security firm expert who pays for sex and don't really waste money on women. They can't do it. They can't talk down to the 5-star general who pays for sex. They can only do that shit to a number of people that they can talk down to. I'm better than you mentality that never stops. So these people are the most exhausting people to be around because they always think they're better than you. And it becomes more, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. There's a reason why a lot of other cultural men despise black men in general. Because every time they come around, they think they're better than somebody. Even though they're 5, 10 years, 15 years behind everybody else. Because they're so stuck in the N-word laws, the N-wordville, and they didn't know how the overall world works. While white guys are creating whole entire environments to get sex easier and make them easy accessible to go all over the world and get women based off the fact they white. Unlike black dudes, you have to fit into a certain narrative because these guys make sure to put that shit to the forefront. When you see these dudes' whole bodies sometimes, and I'm talking about the dudes who talk about game and swag, going overseas because you don't have this. There's dudes that are that talk this game shit that's in Passport, bro. They're Passport players paying for women that are actually former so-called service worker women. Now that's embarrassing if you out here talking about game and swag. Then the anti-Passport guys who actually are Passport talk about game and swag too. And then you see their whole body in videos and they're overweight. They don't have any kind of no stature. And when you find out a lot of these guys don't have real power in themselves, all they got their mouth in chats. Lazy at research and analyzing. So these guys will go around and they will go based off certain videos they watch. And they won't go and research anything. So a lot of these guys say that Passport bros say they wanted to go overseas to get married. Right? And that wasn't the case. They wanted to have better options. That was the original intent. From what I know, the original intent was to have options to do what you wanted to do. If you wanted to get married, you wanted to have sex, super sex fun, then you can do that. It was a multifaceted thing. But these idiots locks people down to just dating and marriage. To try to have you off the market. So somehow, some way they can try to control you from that or shut you the fuck up. so you don't tell other people about your exports over there and how you got treated, right? That goes back to number 3. Downplaying anything that different men that are different from them does, right? Like to pick on people in groups. These are the people who will dogpile and go under passport bro shit and say some stupid shit. And when they know that they're wrong and nobody agrees with them, they run because they don't have backup. Will never pick on the most powerful people in society. Pick on the weak only. I said this before in my old videos. Never take advice from people who don't have rivals, right? Or who don't have rivals like that, right? Because these guys tend to go into places where they think they're the best and pretend that they're the kings of a place where they better than. Because these guys don't pick on the strong, they pick on the weak. Their favorite rappers, basketball players are a bunch of tricks, but they never call them out. Their uncles, the gang guys that they look up to are a bunch of tricks. They never call them tricks. The guys who they look up to have female problems. They'll never call them lame. They'll never call them out. They won't make videos about it. Why? Because those guys are powerful. They got fans. But they will pick on somebody who has the same thing. Go after guys who passport bro movement are failing. Their favorite thing is to go after guys like Floyd now. Because Floyd is a awkward guy who attached himself to passport bros. Now he's the ultimate guy that all these people watch. But before that, your boy Super Sly was making videos saying that black men are pedos. Should I rewind the situation from last couple years ago? Never show up when they're wrong about anything. So these are the guys who, when they're wrong, they don't make videos for months. They only make videos and they only make comments when they think they're right or when they think that they got a I got you moment. Right? They never want to be wrong. You can see it on their videos. None of these anti-passport players got any videos on the women that are losing overseas. They don't. The same people like a O'Shea, the same motherfucking people who got all these videos talking about passport bro shit, don't have a lot of videos talking about the women that are losing overseas and the women that are doing the same shit. There's many videos of them. They don't show them. So this is a cheat sheet on who you know who's from N-Wordville, who you think try to. These are the people. These number of things, or what these dudes come from. These are the rules they think that they can. That you have to follow as well. You have to be under these type of laws. You have to follow their laws and their rules because you're black. But I'm telling you, you don't have to follow the laws of men who have no power. That's it.